Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Great Gaggle Update for Free Fringe. My name is Catherine. My pronouns are she, they, and I am working on some social media stuff and community stuff as part of the Gaggle. We're all going to introduce ourselves, and then I'll let you know what's going on.
Nice. Thanks, Catherine. I'm Betty J. Smithsonian. I'm also one of the Gaggles. I'm doing some website things and community outreach, and my pronouns are she and her. Passing it over to the next person. I think it's James.
Oh, is it me?
Hey, yes.
Hey.
I don't know.
I'm James Jackson, and I am doing some technical work for Free Fringe Gaggle, and my pronouns are he and they, and I'm going to pass it to the next person who I admittedly was not paying attention to.
It's me. I'm Evelyn Klein. My pronouns are she, her. I'm helping out with social media. Today I'll be the Q&A liaison. To the next person, which is Sarah.
Hey, I'm Sarah Nattel. I am also in social media, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to pass it to the next person.
I think that's me. Hi, I'm Chris Davis. He, him pronouns. I am helping with the Free Fringe Cabaret, which is in the same location as last year, and we're looking for programming for Tuesdays and Thursdays to live stream to the entire world.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Amazing! And that's the Gaggle that is assembled today. I will be acting as the MC for this Gaggle update. We're all going to rotate and give you some information. Some of it might be new info. Some of it might be stuff you've heard before. But hey, it never hurts just to make sure we're all on the same page. We wanted to do this Gaggle update because there are some new things for Free Fringe this year. One of which is a pandemic, which you might be aware of, I would assume at this point. And as mentioned, if you are tuning in on Facebook and on any other of the streams, if you have any questions, pop it in the comments. We're going to keep an eye on those, and then we'll get to them at the end. But right now, I am going to pass this over to Chris, who's going to talk a little bit about submitting a show and how the festival works.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see everybody under these circumstances. The festival will be running from September 5th to October 4th. No, September 10th to October 4th. Those are the festival dates. And so during those dates, we're looking for Tuesdays and Thursdays if you're interested in being involved in the Free Fringe Cabaret. It's located at the same place as last year, which was about 10th and Callow Hill area. And basically, we look for one group of people. You get the space, an engineer is there, and then you present your work. If you're interested in learning more about the space or taking one of these slots, the Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can contact me. The best way to contact me, you can go through the Free Fringe website, but also I will provide my personal email. And I guess I can just say my personal email. It's cqdavis@gmail.com. And just send me an email with the subject line Free Fringe, and we will talk about the space and the parameters. And that's what I'm mainly doing this year, is to try to find people for those Tuesdays and Thursdays with the Cabaret. So thank you all, and I look forward to hearing more about the festival.
Chris, when I hear Cabaret, I think of Liza Minnelli. That's who I am. Can you give us some ideas to get our brains working on what could possibly be in the Cabaret?
Yes. And Catherine, I think you even have a show that could work really well in the Cabaret called Sex Talk.
Maybe I'll email you, Chris.
I mean, please do, because that's the thing is when I say Cabaret, and I really mean that in a sense, there are no parameters. we are probably looking for things that are not like of large groups because it is an inside space, but really anything, whether it's stand-up comedy, storytelling, music, drag acts, solo shows, all of those can be part of Cabaret. The space is small, so you have to have that in mind, but it has 2 cameras, and really all of that could fit into it. So to me, the Cabaret is like life.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. So that's a little bit about the Cabaret. I think we'll make like a recap of some kind with like links and emails and things like that. So if you're like rushing to jot down Chris's email, it's okay. We'll make that info available to you. And
Thank
then
you, Chris.
yeah, thanks, Chris. Talking about the festival of a whole, I'm gonna push this over to Sarah, who's gonna talk about what can be a show and talk a little bit about safety in this world of ours.
Absolutely, Catherine. Thank you. Yeah, sort of off of what Chris was talking about for the Cabaret, Free Fringe is exciting because sort of there are no limits. We are limitless, starring Bradley Cooper. Obviously, we're trying to suggest that people get as digital as possible this year, just out of safety. I mean, I think what's also exciting is that if anyone is not living in Philadelphia, please participate because we're not tied to location. But obviously, we're sort of being honor system about this. So if you do want to do a live show, that's also a possibility. But I would just say as far as shows go, I would say shows can be live. They can be on social media platforms. They could be on YouTube or Twitch or Zoom or Facebook or Instagram, anything. They can be any length. So even if it's digital, you can do a 2-minute show. You can do a little bit show. You can do a 2-minute show 10 times during the Fringe. You can do a 2-hour-long show. You can do it for audiences that are 2 people. You can do it for audiences that are 200 people. Really, whatever you want. I would just say, like, go for it. There's nothing to lose. There's no money involved. And now you probably don't even have to wear pants, which is like a big selling factor for me with the Free Fringe at this moment. And then I would also say an exciting thing that the Gaggle has thought about, and I think it was suggested by someone in our last town hall, is that, hey, if you're interested in teaching something that submit that. Literally submit it the same way you would submit a show. It can be any day, any time. We'll put on the calendar, submit a show that is a class. Why not? A workshop, a class. And same way at the end of it, pass the digital hat, put up your Venmo. And, we love to just like have more of that. And then I would just say, like, COVID wise, we are still in a pandemic. And I recently looked up the Philadelphia outdoor performance guidelines. There's no indoor performance guidelines as of yet, but it's still 50 people or less, 6 feet between people from different households, wear masks. And then there's a lot of other information about sanitizing surfaces and exchanges of anything, and also demarcating where spaces of stage versus audiences. So we're also going to put up probably the PDF in the website that is like forever changing. It was just updated July 30th. So yeah, I would say if you do want to do that, keep checking in with that, but it is a little bit honor system, and I would say be cool. And then I'm going to pass it to, Catherine, who will pass it.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I'll just say real quick, like, we're not here to tell you what a show is or isn't. So something that this year with like the classes, who's to say that you doing a digital, I don't even know, movement class where you offer it and you have an audience that are your learners, and then you pass the hat afterwards, that absolutely is a performance.
I'm ready to learn makeup or macrame.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's so many folks out there with amazing skills. Tell us how to make sourdough bread that looks beautiful. I don't know. Listen, we're all stuck at home. It's time to like feel together, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of feeling together, something that is relatively new this year on the website, you might have seen stuff about it, is we have a great resource in the haves and needs board. Think of this almost like a free Fringe Craigslist. If you are looking for an element for your show or a specific resource or a specific space, there's a form you can fill out. It'll get posted to the website. Alternatively, if you have a great space or a resource, maybe you have like a giant tent that 60 people could fit in. Cool.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't have
Are you
one,
a circus clown? What kind
that'd be
of
cool, right? But if you have that, that's a resource you can offer. Or if you're like, oh, I have all of these like parasols. I don't know. I have 50 parasols. Who wants to make a show about beautiful parasols? Great. But so that'll be on the website, and we'll help facilitate as much as we can. Free Fringe does not directly provide services or resources, but we will happily connect you with those resources and give you the space to find one another, if that makes sense. All right. Betty, what's happening?
Hey, I'll tell you what's
going to you
happening.
next. You're opening doors. You're
Awesome.
tour.
I apologize. My fan was on and I realized that it might be giving some feedback. And then while I stood up, I realized this ladder was in the basement of the house I moved into 12 years ago. And I've brought it through. This is sort of like a free Fringe thing. I mean, I've stolen it, sure, but also I didn't pay for it. And it was in my backyard and we almost tossed it. We almost threw it right out into the dumpster. And then Lisa said, no. And I said, what? And she looks at all the plants that were on the ground. And then it was like, ding. And then we brought in the ladder and now we're an Etsy shop. Okay. How's that?
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling me. I would love for you, can you talk a little bit, actually, now is a great time to tell folks about the dates of the festival.
Yes.
And then new things with the website.
Yes.
Perfect.
Know. Oh, I know. So for your Fringe show, we are doing the month of September. Chris had mentioned earlier how the Cabaret is going to run. That's specific for the Cabaret. For the Free Fringe Festival, we are doing the entire month of September. We have a really simple application. It will take you a couple minutes. Go to the freefringephilly.com website. On the top left, submit your show. Click that. It takes you to a form. You fill out that form. The things that we will need are the dates of the show and whether this is virtual or in real life and the explanation of that. Fairly simple. Remember, we are... you get us that information, we list that information, and then we help to promote and push the show. This year, because we're in this moment, access, what we've always kind of bragged about in the past is like, let's get these venues going. Your venue is your internet connection for most of you. So your ability to share the thing that you're doing and the chance for audience to see the thing that you've made is much higher. We are opening the doors to folks from anywhere on the planet who want to participate this year in Free Fringe. And it's as simple as submitting that information, sharing the access, and we list it on our site. The caveat this year that we've added is something we're calling the digital Free Fringe. And if you go to the website right now, freefringephilly.com, on the top right, there is a watch tab. And if you click watch, you will see lists of videos that have already been submitted that you can watch at your leisure or your leisure, depending on what part of England you're from. So you can watch that art and pay the artist. Each listing of a video of a digital creation will have a tag to pay the artist. So that is up right now. You can submit those things right now until September 1st. Our digital Fringe will stop receiving applications September 1st, And then we will keep your archived video up on that site for the entire Free Fringe. So if you have something, even if it's something that you did a year ago and you want to submit that as part of our digital Free Fringe, do it. Submit it. We will put it on our website. We will promote it. And we want to make sure the artists get paid. That's a really important thing. This is free to participate and free to watch. And a lot of folks that watch want to pay the artist. So that's the update. So on the website, you will see the watch button on the top right, on the submit your show on the top left. And even if you have a digital show, you'll use that same form to submit. And I think those are my updates. I will say I'm really excited about a couple of shows that have already come in that we're going to be listing this week, where people are using their houses, the outside of their homes, as a gallery. So they're giving you the corner of their address and they're hanging artwork outside of their house. So again, like, we're in pandemic and we're creative, but the more that you visit the Free Fringe website and follow us on social media, you'll start to see these creators that are thinking about this moment and how we can share and express ourselves in this moment. So we hope that as we start listing these and showing these, that you keep coming back and getting sourced a bit and inspired a bit. Yeah, we're excited, and I'm excited for everyone to participate.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, that's such a cool idea. The gallery on the corner. I'm hoping those of you watching are maybe getting some ideas of like, oh, that could be a thing I can do this year. And our answer will be, yeah, most likely. That's really exciting. Because we are in this new realm of community and kind of art making and having to retool some of the ways that we present performance. Obviously, a lot of stuff will be happening digitally. So I'm going to toss it over to James real quick, who's going to drop some digital tips. James will also be available as a resource for those of you who might have questions. For example, how do you get a Zoom onto Facebook? I don't know, but James does.
Thanks, Catherine, for the toss over. You know what I do all the time is I forget to unmute myself.
As you're streaming 15 different broadcast channels.
Yeah, I showed the Gaggle my setup here in my house, and it's a little messy right at the moment, so I'm not going to share with the whole stream, but just suffice it to say, I've got a few screens staring me in the face and a few versions of everybody staring me in the face. So how do you get your stream onto Facebook? Well, there are a couple of ways to get your stream wherever you want it to go, and the resources you need can be as simple as a Facebook account and a cell phone. So having a Facebook account and a cell phone, you can live stream your whatever you can point your cell phone at right up onto Facebook and show people what you're doing. Lots of people have figured this out through the recent protest actions, and it's fun. But we can dress it up a little bit. We can dress it up a little bit with adding a laptop, add a second camera to your Facebook stream. We can dress it up a little bit more with some software like OBS or video switching hardware, or adding logos. Like there's this nice little logo on the bottom corner of the screen for the Free Fringe that the Gaggle can't see it. I've actually been putting bunny ears on all of them, and they don't really know it yet. They'll watch this later, and then they'll be amused. But we can, we can even make folks look like they're in the same room together, so they can socially distance while acting with each other, and all kinds of other things. We can increase the production value a millionfold. As it just depends on how much resources you have to invest and how much resources you have on your own. The service that I'm offering personally, this is my personal service, not the Free Fringe's service, but I'm offering consultation with Free Fringe participants on how to live stream their live performances and offering to help them actually do the live streaming portion, this portion where it goes out on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Mob Crush and Twitch and as many other places as you can think to put it. We can also even put it, if you're a member of the public access channel Philly Cam, we could put it on Philly Cam because I've already done that with some shows. So yeah, let me know if you have anything that you need help with in the making your real world digital, and I will be happy to help with that as a personal favor. As far as
how can people contact you, James, or do you want them to go through the haves and needs board, or should they?
Yeah, I'm listed on the haves and needs boards, and the haves and needs board is an awesome feature of this year's Fringe. Basically, you know, everybody has a show and everybody has stuff. And if you can bring together your haves and your needs, we're happy to do that as Free Fringe. And I'm super excited about it. So yeah, I'm already listed on the haves and needs board. Please go list your show on the haves and needs board as well. And I just got a question via Facebook. What is a haves and needs board? Haves and needs board is Free Fringe's version of Craigslist. I called it the other day.
Yeah, it's on the website. If you go to freefringephilly.com, and on the right-hand side is the haves and needs board. It's people that are filling out forms and listing the things they have to share, and people filling out forms and listing the things that they need. And those things auto-populate right on our Free Fringe Craigslist-ish. Great question.
Craigslist-ish.
Ish.
So yeah, that's a little bit about the digital side. And I'm going to toss it back to Catherine.
Awesome. Thank you, James. And thank you for providing that amazing resource.
Incredible resource.
Even as you're listing the digital platforms, my eyes start to glaze over and I'm like, I don't know. So
everybody's eyes start to glaze over when I talk. What is it?
No, just about things that aren't MySpace. I'm like,
yeah.
Catherine and I know MySpace. Sarah and I know Friendster. Chris and I know AOL chat. So anything over that is like, Evelyn builds her own computers though, so she gets it.
It can feel very overwhelming. But I think once you kind of understand that there are all these programs and people to facilitate sharing digitally, it's not that big of a deal. And guess what? It's 2020. This is where we are right now. So we better make the best use of it. Am I right?
Hey-o! Woo woo!
Something that's also kind of new this year. A conversation we've had in the Gaggle is that Free Fringe in of itself is a glorified bulletin board. We are here to provide the push pins and the cork board and give you a space to hang up your signs. I don't know.
Perfect. I was in that whole metaphor. I'm like, what else is on the board? Magnets?
If you haven't already, please follow the Free Fringe Instagram page. If you're watching this on Facebook, you hopefully like and follow our page. The Facebook page, you'll see new show announcements. Those will go out in our Fresh Catch posts. And those come out Sundays and Wednesdays. And then we'll be doing other things like highlighting community events and other projects that are maybe not necessarily show related or, project related. And then the Instagram will be a place where we're going to be hosting Instagram lives and inviting people who are producing shows either in the digital Free Fringe or live or in some other way to come on to talk about their projects. It's also a great place if you need like a call to action to be like, hi, our show needs 50 gallons of paint. I don't know. But that's a way to do that. So If you've already submitted your show to the website, I think maybe we'll send an email, or if you're interested in kind of popping on an Instagram live, our plan is to do those for the next few Tuesdays at 6:30 to invite people onto the Instagram live, 5-10 minutes, not super long. You can talk about your piece. If you want to show a little bit of your piece, that's totally fine too, but just a way to give you a platform. And we're going to ask that if a show's done it once, they wait and not do it again until other shows have a chance, because we want to make sure as many of you get your work out there as possible.
Spirit of rotation.
Yes. So that is the Instagram live. Okay. We are now going to go over to Sarah.
Hello.
Who will do some FAQ stuff. We can talk about some stuff that's coming up in the Facebook chat. So our Facebook comment liaison can also pop on too if needed.
And also, like, feel free to put me in the hot seat, everyone, and ask me any questions y'all have about Free Fringe, and I will find an answer. So I'm gonna reiterate a lot of things. So it's September 10th to October 4th, but everyone can submit through the whole thing. But do we need to have a date on the digital Fringe?
Yeah. So Fringe as a whole is the whole month of September. The Cabaret is just those dates you just mentioned.
Yes.
And Digital Fringe stops receiving submissions on September 1st. Everything else is rolling.
It is just like rolling admissions. If you just come up with a show, you could do it that day, and we'll try to get it on the website as soon as possible and out on the Instagram world. Again, we're free to join. And it's free to watch shows. Everyone just passes their Venmo or their bucket around at the end. What else? No Limits, Bradley Cooper. I said that already. Check out the Haves and Needs board, definitely for resources. Because we're just basically a glorified bulletin board. We don't do anything for you. We just sort of, make it possible for you to find the thing. We're like the lubricant. What else? Please list your resources if you have any. Just even hearing this, I was thinking of more things I could even offer. So if you know someone who has a lot of stuff, who doesn't know what to do with it, or they're theater artists, they don't know what they're doing, or they're a big theater company or a restaurant or anything, reach out and have them, submit something. That would be so cool. And just again, we don't boost any particular show. We just boost the festival. And I think that's it. Does our the coordinator, what is it, liaison? Does the have any questions?
Correspondent?
Yes, we do have some questions. First question we received was from Caitlin Sierri, which is, can I do an audio drama, audio only show for Free Fringe?
Yes.
That sounds awesome. That's so good. Do it.
Absolutely. We just had a submission today. Colt Sebastian Taylor, who was in the auxiliary Gaggle last year, they're doing a kind of a weekly broadcast radio show, and they're going to list that. So yeah, absolutely. It could be an audio, anything.
Cool.
I would also just say, just talking about auxiliary Gaggle, that just makes me remember this one thing, which is, even if you don't participate, even if you go see shows, this just relies on the community so much. Everything is just community based. It's donation based. Everything is free. So if you're going to go see something, even if it's just like logging on to Instagram to watch a show, share it, boost it, pop it up. Even just tell one other friend, I'm going to watch this thing on live tonight. That just is everything we need. We need everyone in the community to just help us. I'm up in the screen. Oh.
And just to reiterate, because this is largely digital this year, if you know someone who did a great show in Texas or California and it's a digital version of it, that's absolutely eligible to go into that Digital Fringe deadline September 1st. But you don't have to be from Philadelphia to participate as a performer, as a presenter, as an audience member. So our community actually gets a little bigger in the digital world, which is really exciting.
Catherine, I think your microphone is dying there.
Audio.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
We heard you the whole way. It just started to kind of lose its juice.
Right now.
Yeah.
But we love you.
Poor
I
Cat-
think even when I feel like even when something is going wrong digitally on my side, I'm such an insecure artist. I need to be coddled in the beginning and the end as if like a manager is giving me real feedback. I need to be like, I love you, you're great, you're awesome, but your microphone, I'm like,
Is this better?
Yeah.
that's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
came
you do.
back.
I
There's
literally
probably-
acknowledging that when we
But I
turn
was
off.
thinking a haves and needs could be like, yo, I've got this really sweet new phone. I would happily lend it to you to help. You know, that's something too. Not all of us have access to great technology. I know I'm working off of a Chromebook usually, and you know, sometimes it's not so great sometimes, and it does good work, but sometimes on a big Zoom, it has a problem. So, or even on the haves and needs form, if you are not submitting as an artist or performing as an artist this year, but you're like, oh, I really love helping people develop their own work. That is a have that you have. That is a skill, just to give extra eyes on something or to be a test audience member. Any time that you give is an amazing resource. What other questions do we have?
Okay, another question we have from Lisa Maria DiStefano is, when is this? Which
Great question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Say those dates
Evelyn,
again.
say it again.
Okay, so Free Fringe will run for the full month of September. Free Fringe Cabaret specifically from September 10th to October 4th. Okay. Another question we have is from Jack O'Keefe, who asks, is there a preferred virtual communication medium, Zoom, Instagram Live, etc., for Free Fringe involved shows, or is that up to the artists?
I think that's all personal preference, baby. That's just what you like.
That's like what you like.
Like whatever you
like.
do. Like if you're into Instagram, if you're into free Facebook, if you're into tweets, tweet it out.
You know what? Like,
you could also do Twitch. I mean, Jack rocks this shows via Twitch. Whatever you want to stream, the thing and I think this is an important caveat. When you submit your show, you need to have that set, because part of what I'm including on the website for your show is a hyperlink to either register for that, or to, you know, whether that's a link to, you know, something. We need to let people know where that's going to be. So have that known. I know that's like a basic thing, like know how you're going to put on the show.
Yeah, you gotta know your venue, because, like, you know, if you're doing a digital show, the digital platform is your venue. So we could use your help with that.
any other questions?
That is all we have so far.
Let's talk a little bit about the passing the hat and what might need to get, just as a way to think ahead as well, since tickets are essentially free.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to figure out if you're having to keep track of who's coming or if you have a cap. Who wants to talk a little bit about the pass the hat?
I can jump in. I could share.
Great.
So whatever your digital payment option is, so far, most of the folks that have come on board to participate, they have a Venmo or a PayPal. We're going to list that link right on the website. During the actual show, you can, I think James was sharing that there's some ways in which you can kind of have things pop up on your screen. They're available to consult with that. But the thing that you're going to share with people, again, it's free to come in. I mean, the audience, there's no obstacle to access for the audience. That's a huge component of Free Fringe. It's also no obstacle to submit. But our artists get paid, and they do so by saying, after the show, pay what you're able. Here's my donation link. And to just double down on that, there's a bunch of folks that are in the non-Free Fringe this year that are listing their show in the Free Fringe and including a certain number of comps to share with the Free Fringe audience. So we have folks like that. Last year we had Brian Sanders. We had people that said, hey, we're doing this over here that's paid, but we're going to designate 10 tickets or X number of tickets that are free first come, first serve, and we list that as part of Free Fringe. So it's another way to kind of get access to folks.
Awesome, thank you. I will say too, something we're interested in committing to this year, especially in social media, is reaching out in the community to people that might not actually know that Free Fringe, it's only the second year of Free Fringe. So might not know it's happening, might not know it's available. And this year they don't even have to leave their house. So if you have access to, if you're in a community Facebook page, or you have a community group or an email list or anything like that, help us out and spread the word and just let people know, hey, there's this great resource and a way, especially for students who are not going to brick and mortar school, they're mostly online. What a great way to engage them in something that's artistic. And hey, maybe there's a high school group that wants to do a little Free Fringe show.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. There's a comment on Facebook. I'll be telling the entire Rizzle community about this worldwide collection of great creators. And I just wanted to bring up the idea of, are we super worried about geographical borders?
No way.
No?
all in. I mean, this is kind of where I think the group of us have made this decision. We thought it was the best for this specific moment to open this up to creators all around. We're, like I said, a bulletin board. So I think normally in the before times, there's something really special about having the geography be Philly. But I think right now, as artists, am I right? Is that sort of?
I think you are.
Yeah, I think you're right too. And I would just like to say that one of my thoughts during the COVID times has been, if we pull folks from multiple geographic locations into one production, you're probably going to have a bigger audience. So think about that when you're proposing your production.
Good point.
Cool. I love that. And I think a conversation that's happened a lot, even amongst the Gaggle, amongst other artistic communities, is making art in a time where it feels very hard to make art and make pieces. And like, if you're not in a place to generate anything, that's totally cool.
Yes, but thank you, Catherine.
What Free Fringe also offers is a place to like throw something at the wall with like pretty low pressure. At this point, I know for me as an audience member, I'm just excited to like see faces I don't normally see that aren't my cat and aren't my partner. Just like excited to transport digitally somewhere and just kind of engage in something that is still person to person, albeit through a screen. So I encourage you to dig deep a little there. Awesome. Any last questions we can think of?
We do have another question from Facebook. This is from James McAlleney. It is, what is Free Fringe? Is it a festival that helps promote a collection of independent shows?
Great question, James. I'm happy to answer this, or Chris, if you want to jump in and answer this, or Sarah, or I can say exactly what it is.
I think you should say what it is.
Okay. Great question. Free Fringe is a festival that, what if all of a sudden just I froze and you guys are just like waiting. The tension is building.
I have a solution for that. Look, it's up on screen now, but you can't see it. It says, technical difficulties.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. So Free Fringe is you submit a show, you're in the Free Fringe. The main caveat is that your show needs to be free, so there is no obstacle to access for the audience, and we do not charge you to be in this festival. It is a listing, and in the past, we've done a digital and also a printed catalog or zine. So we take your show and put it into our kind of Gaggle machine, and we promote the fuck out of it for the month of September. And we do that for absolutely no cost. So we are promoting your free show, which you can ask for a donation at the end. And we're also trying to situate the community to be a space where individual artists, creators and businesses and organizations can share the things they have and get the things that they need, and that there's no obstacle for that. So yes, it is a collection of independent shows, but being part of the Free Fringe means that you're protesting against these heavily exclusive systems that deny access and end up, reducing the amount of creative energy out there. So that's being part of it in the big sense. What do you guys want to add to that?
I think
Limitless starring Bradley Cooper.
Really a lot of Bradley Cooper references.
Yeah, I feel like I
wasn't
did
he like more popular like a few years ago?
I didn't say that, but I felt like it's understood now that it's Bradley Cooper.
Before we dissolve, I guess, into a Bradley Cooper wormhole, let's I think close this out. If you still have questions, feel free to message us on Instagram, or check us out on the website, comment on our Facebook. We are happy to answer any questions that come up. Betty, I know you had some really quick updates about community partnerships and like fun discounts and little things that are happening.
Yes, definitely. So a big part of the festival is that there's always been friends of the arts out there, people that have owned businesses and breweries and restaurants and spaces and from the press that want to open up access. And in the past, they've offered their venues and spaces, but now things are a little bit Corona-ish. So we have Fergie's, obviously, fucking love Fergie. He's a huge fan of the arts and kind of the mayor of Philly in our hearts. He has offered to creators and attendees a 10% discount on food at Ferg's. So you can go grab some takeout from there. And we're going to list all these on our site as well. We have some exciting updates and discounts coming from Dock Street. We have some prizes and things that Reading Terminal Market is going to be offering. We have Jose Pistoles is one of our community partners as well. So we're going to have some things to share about them. So there's some benefit on top of being part of and supporting. So we have more on that to be determined. And if you have a business, if you have something that you want to offer discounted to our attendees and creators, please do. You run a hot dog stand, you got a pie factory, you want to include and support the artists with a discount coupon, we'll take it. Message us on our contact form on the freefringephilly.com. Thanks.
Amazing. Well,
amazing.
Thank you, Gaggle, and thank you all for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you and hopefully a little inspirational. This video will live as a resource on our social media channels, so you can always go back, and then we'll be listing the information that was shared also as well. And with that, I think our Gaggle update is complete.
Yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
I hear that soft music.